Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and welcome to my January 20th DVD and Blu-ray update. It's been just a little less than 2 weeks since the last update, so I'm here to present you guys with all the DVDs, Blu-rays, and television box sets that I've gotten within that last time period. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First one I got is one that I mentioned in my last DVD update, and this is a title that, it's a Paramount title that Warner Brothers just picked up for distribution. They picked up a couple hundred films from their back catalog that they're going to be handling distribution for over the next couple of years. So this is one that I had on order. It didn't make it in time for the last update, so I'm here to show it to you guys now, and it's Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's. For whatever reason, this is a film that has always escaped me. I know a ton about it, but I've just never actually taken the time to sit down and watch it. So once Warner Brothers picked up distribution of this Paramount title, in addition to a bunch of others, the pre-order price was really cheap, so I figured now's the perfect time to get it. So here it is. This is definitely on my queue for the next few weeks, so hopefully I'll get to it within that time frame. The next one I got, another Paramount title that Warner Brothers is putting out as well, is one that was originally out on Blu-ray, but it's been out of print for a few years now, and it's been fetching like crazy ridiculous prices on the third-party sellers. But thankfully, it's back out now at, beyond reasonable prices, so I'm really happy to complete my David Fincher collection on Blu-ray with his 2-disc director's cut of the 2007 film Zodiac. I loved this film when it came out. I actually read the book Zodiac that it was based upon, which was a great read for anybody who hasn't seen it. So I walked in to Zodiac with really high expectations, since I was really knowledgeable on the case and everything that went into it, all the people involved, and Fincher's film was awesome. It really just kind of hit all the points that the book went into, really great detail about, and Fincher told a really, really great story with it. Now, I know some people may have been let down by it, that it wasn't, as, action-packed. I don't really know what they were expecting. It's a very, by-the-books detective film. It's very, I always tell people that it's a really good film, the characters are really great, it's really developed, but just be aware that it's a lot of people, looking through files and looking through, trying to get to the bottom of who this was, because the guy was never caught. That there's no spoiler in telling that. I mean, that's just, it's how the case has, kind of come about over the years. The Zodiac Killer was never caught, so it's just kind of, a different, a whole group of people and how their lives are kind of, disrupted and, kind of thrown into turmoil because of this Zodiac Killer. So if you guys have never seen this, definitely check it out now. The next one I got is actually a title that I was telling you guys about a few updates back. I even left pre-order links for them in my description below. So this is actually the first one. It's actually from Shout Factory through their Shout Select line. And the Shout Select line is, manufactured pressed DVDs like all Shout's titles are, but they're only exclusively sold through their website. Hence the term Shout Select, and it's really important that people buy these, especially if you're a big, big Nickelodeon fan like I am. So this title is actually Season 2, Part 3 of The Wild Thornberrys. Like I said, you can get it through the Shout Select website, and there is actually a seller on Amazon called Route 66 who handles all of the Shout Select titles. Season 4 of Webster, Volume 3 of Swamp Thing, the You Can't Do That on Film documentary about You Can't Do That on Television. So, like I said, it's really important to support these efforts, especially if you want to continue seeing, the classic Nickelodeon shows put out on pressed, manufactured DVDs. None of that manufactured on demand, burn-on-demand crap. I really like that Shout goes to, the effort and the time to put these in pressed releases. So, now that Wild Thornberrys is in the Shout Select line, it may be an indicator that the sales haven't been doing so hot for these for this show out on stores or even on Amazon.com, but they're still willing to keep giving it a try as long as, the hardcore fans are supporting it by buying exclusively through their website. So I really urge you guys to, purchase this to ensure that we keep getting more seasons of not only the Wild Thornberrys, but just more Nick shows in general. So we have to make sure that the sales are there to generate the cost cost and, Shout Factory's willingness to put these out. So once again, you can go to shoutfactory.com and, navigate through their website to find the Shout Select section in their store, and you'll find Season 2, Part 3 of The Wild Thornberrys. This week, or actually on January 29th, Season 3 of Hey Arnold, which is going to be sold through the Shout Select line as well, will be made available too. So definitely keep your eyes out on that, place your pre-orders, and yeah, just keep on supporting classic Nickelodeon shows, and keep supporting Shout Factory. The next two I got are two that I just really wanted to highlight because a YouTube fan actually sent me a really, really cool care package of movies and Blu-ray and DVD slipcovers, just really awesome stuff. So two things that I wanted to showcase out of the big haul that he sent me. You can actually see the whole haul in a picture if you're following me on Twitter. Just, look up Frightener22 and you'll see that picture on there. But two ones that I wanted to highlight in particular are these. And this is actually a Nickelodeon triple pack of Spongebob Sqaurepants. It's like 3 movies or TV specials that aired: Viking-Sized Adventures, SpongeBob's Last Stand, and Triton's Revenge. I just thought this was really cool. A lot of bang for your buck, and it was just really cool of Justice to send this to me, so thanks again, dude. I really appreciate it. And the other thing that he sent me, which was even, cooler, it's, brand new, never taken out of the package, and this is kind of getting a little rare to find, and, the prices are really starting to get a little higher on this, and this is the limited edition of Don Coscarelli's Bubba Ho-Tep. It was made in this limited edition kind of Elvis Presley jacket. If you've seen the film, you kind of understand, but yeah, I thought this was really cool. As you can see, it's still mint in the package, so, for it being a limited edition, it truly is, and, being still in the package, and for him to send it to me just for being a big fan of my videos, I really appreciate that. So once again, thanks again, Justin, for sending me all this cool stuff. It's awesome. Now, getting into some more Disney 3D Blu-rays, because I actually completed my 3D Disney Blu-ray collection. Now all I need is a 3D TV and a 3D Blu-ray player. I'm going to be getting a 3D TV over the course of, the next few months. Hopefully by summer. I'm just, waiting for the new models to come out and maybe some price drops, but I figured until that time period, let me continue to beef up my 3D Blu-ray collection so I have, a good amount of content to watch once I upgrade. So the first one I got is Robert Zemeckis' A Christmas Carol. Absolutely love this adaptation. It might even be my favorite adaptation of A Christmas Carol, so awesome stuff. The next one I got, which isn't a Disney title per se, it was released under the Touchstone banner. I just figured I would pick it up because I did think this film was pretty decent, and I hadn't owned it before on, traditional 2D Blu-ray, so I figured I would buy it on 3D, and this is Gnomeo and Juliet 3D. Next one is a Jerry Bruckheimer production of G-Force 3D. I have never watched this one yet. Not really sure what to expect on it, but it's Disney, and I love, picking up their films, so, it might be a pleasant surprise. I don't know. Next one is John Travolta and Miley Cyrus in Bolt 3D. This one was pretty decent. I think my first viewing of it, I wasn't, blown away by it. It was just kind of alright for me, but every film after Bolt has just been, absurdly better, like Tangled and The Princess and the Frog and now Wreck-It Ralph. So as far as like this new renaissance of Walt Disney animation films, Bolt is kind of on the, it's kind of on the lower end of the totem pole for me, but it's still a good movie and it's got really fantastic animation. I actually just recently picked up the Art of Bolt book, which is great if you're a, an animator or somebody that likes to draw like I do. So the book's great and the film's pretty decent, but the animation's really breathtaking. The next one is Johnny Depp and Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland 3D. This is a huge success for Disney. It made like well over $1 billion, and if you guys don't know, Disney is coming around and are fully aware of how much money they made on this a few years back, so that they've already hired a screenwriter to draft a sequel to this. It's still really early on. There's no indication if Tim Burton or Johnny Depp or any of the original cast members are involved, but Disney is exploring a sequel option to this, so, we'll see what happens over the course of the next few months with that. The next one I got, like I said, a real favorite of, the more recent Walt Disney Animation Studios films, and this is Tangled 3D. fantastic film. I know the glare's kind of killing this a little bit, but, you know, these are lenticular slipcovers, so anytime light hits them, they're kind of, you know, they kind of go crazy a little bit, as you can see, but really awesome. Next one I got is the stop-motion classic from 1993, The Nightmare Before Christmas in 3D. I saw this several times in theaters over the course of those, I think it was like 3 years consecutively that they re-released this in theaters in 3D, and I went every single year. I just thought it was so much fun to see, and just see it on the big screen in 3D, so I'm happy to have this in my 3D collection now. The next one I got is a real personal favorite of mine from Pixar's library, and this is the great Pete Docter film, Up. I love this film. Everything about it I love. It's just phenomenal storytelling. I mean, it's been said time and time again, but that whole opening sequence, I mean, it just, it sums up so much emotion and just develops so much character in just that opening title that you just really get to know the main character and his wife. So I love that. This film's great. It's hysterical, and I can't wait. This is actually going to be probably one of the first titles I look at on 3D once I get my TV. And moving on, the classic trilogy that we all love, Toy Story, followed by the fantastic 1999 sequel, Toy Story 2. A lot of people think that Toy Story 2 is even better than Toy Story. I'm not going to dispute that and say that people are wrong. I mean, it's so hard, because then once Toy Story 3 came about, I just felt that you couldn't have ended that series off on a more perfect note, and it's like, really picking what the best one is just completely, it's ridiculous to really do that. They're all fantastic films. The whole trilogy is a perfect trilogy. I mean, all these films just flow together so well, and they tell such great stories, and involve so many great characters, that all three films are just perfect. And, of course, finally, Toy Story 3. I like that simplistic cover. I just like the black background. It really makes the logo and Woody and Buzz's colors really pop out on this lenticular cover, so really cool. Next one is a film from 2005, which is, it's not so bad, actually. It's pretty fun, and this is Chicken Little 3D. Another cool lenticular cover. Let me just move the Epic 3D collection down. And moving on, we have some more animated titles. This one is Jim Carrey and Steve Carell in Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who. I picked this up because it was really cheap. It was like $7 or so, and I had just bought the Lorax a few months ago, so I wanted to check this one out, and I watched it about a week ago. I had a lot of fun with this one. I thought that the voice work by Carrey and Carell were really good. The animation's good. I mean, all of Dr. Seuss's characters and the worlds that he creates are just they're really inviting to the eyes. Just the shapes of, like, the buildings and everything. It's just so wacky, and it's such an odd, world to kind of get your head around. So just seeing these, really interesting, funny characters inhabit these worlds is always, like, the most fun for me watching any Dr. Seuss film. So this was actually a really good one that I enjoyed, so I'm definitely still kind of on a high from it, so I'm probably going to be watching the Lorax pretty soon now. Next one I got was a blind buy that I picked up, and I just watched it the other day, and this is inspired by true events. This is Compliance. I'm sure people have been hearing about this. It's been getting relatively good buzz. It's, like I said, it's inspired on true events, and it's about a prank call gone really disturbing, where this really messed up guy calls a fast food restaurant and says that he's a police officer, and there's a customer that's accusing one of the workers that they stole. So just by some maneuver of brainwashing and whatnot, the guy on the phone convinces the manager of the store to lock the employee in the back room, and things just take a really odd, disturbing turn for the worse. Now the question is, was this movie any good? It was, and I thought it was interesting. It was very, for them to be in a very confined space where it's kind of all regulated to one place. It all takes place in this one restaurant over the course of a day. So it's very confined, so that's really difficult when you're filming it, especially for a director and a cast. How are you going to make this film interesting when you're kind of just involving this one location and these one core group of characters. But for the most part, they did make it work, because as a viewer, you're kind of screaming at the TV, being like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? I would never do that. And a lot of people are going to say that, and that might be a lot of people's disappointment with it. But there's actually a really good interview with the director of this film that kind of explains that, and kind of statistically speaks from a psychology point of view that, statistically, most people, when they're presented in situations like this, will react in ways that you never would have imagined. So when you know that, it's not as far-fetched as you would think. It's just very easy for viewers like us to watch this unfold and be like, oh, I would never do that. That would never be me. But for the most part, this film is really good. I thought it was pretty well made. The only downfall with it is that I think, without giving anything away, I think that they involved too many cast members. If they would have cut the cast members in half the size of them, it would have added to the eeriness and, just the disturbing nature of it. And I think it would have been a little bit just that much more convincing that all these people were kind of just brainwashed into doing what this person on the phone was saying, just because they told, he said he was a police officer. So I would recommend that people check this out and find out for themselves and see what they think about it. It was interesting, though. I'll definitely give it that. It was definitely an interesting experiment. Next one I got is a Shout Factory double feature of some Jackie Chan films, and it is some earlier films from him. This is Crime Story and The Protector. I've never actually seen any of Jackie Chan's earlier films. I mean, I remember, like, Rumble in the Bronx and, of course, things like the Rush Hour films, but these are the things when he was really, kind of making a name for himself early on in his career, and these are kind of some of more of the really high adrenaline action that, paced films, and this is really when he's young and in his peak, so he's really, doing a lot of crazy stuff in this. I haven't watched it, but there's some really cool special features on this. There's, with the Crime Story, there's an interview with the director, deleted scenes in a theatrical trailer. With The Protector, there's an interview with the director, a behind-the-scenes featurette, theatrical trailers, and Jackie Chan's personal cut of The Protector, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good buy if you like, action films like this, especially one starring Jackie Chan. This is a really good bang for your buck. Blu-ray double feature. I think it's like $15 on Amazon, so if this is up your alley, definitely check it out. Shout Factory seem to have done a pretty decent job with this one, so definitely give it a whirl. Another one from Shout Factory is a pretty cool documentary that I'm excited to check out because I've been hearing good things, and this is the documentary on Bruce Lee called I Am Bruce Lee. Basically kind of just goes through a documentary about Bruce Lee, but it interviews a lot of people that have been inspired through him throughout the years, such as Kobe Bryant, Mickey Rourke, Manny Pacquiao. So it's really cool. I mean, they really talk to a lot of high-profile people who have been influenced or inspired by Bruce Lee. So for that alone, it's going to be really cool to see just how much of an influence Bruce Lee continues to have on people and, kind of making them want to reach their goals and whatnot. So I'm really excited to check this one out. The next one I got is from the Criterion Collection, and this is 1934's The Man Who Knew Too Much. This is a Hitchcock film from his British period, and this is really good. It's really, really good. This is actually the first English-speaking role for Peter Lorre, who plays a really dastardly villain in it. I liked this film a lot. Criterion did a really good job with it. It's good. I know Hitchcock remade this some years later with a different cast and whatnot, and I haven't seen that version of it yet, although I believe it is in my Hitchcock Collection Blu-ray set. But this is a really good film. I thought the characters were really good. Hitchcock always manages to put this really great like comedy amongst the, the interactions of the characters, no matter how intense or suspenseful the stakes are meant to be. There's just always some kind of, sense of comedic relief in them, and I think that the actors in this did a really good job with that, and I found myself laughing a lot of the times when they were, anytime Peter Lorre was talking to the father in the film. It was good. I mean, I was really won over by this film. I thought it was very well done, so I highly recommend it. The next three are actually from 20th Century Fox. There's some older films that I've never seen before, but I just wanted to do a blind buy on them because I've heard great things. The first one is How Green Was My Valley. The next one is stars Gregory Peck, and this is Gentleman's Agreement. As you can see, I haven't watched any of these yet, but I will. And the final one is Montgomery Clift and Wild River. All these are supposed to be really good. I've heard great things about them over the years, and to know that, you know, early on in 2013, a studio is giving us some really cool older catalog titles is always a good thing in my book, so I'm excited and happy to add those into my collection. Next up is a ton of animated films, and I've successfully completed my DreamWorks animation library, at least until Rise of the Guardians comes out in March. So, yeah, I just went ahead and finished up my collection. First one I got is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of B-Movie. I missed this one in theaters. I think this came out in 2007, and I think Jerry Seinfeld voices the Bee in this one. I never got around to seeing it, but since I was finishing the DreamWorks animation library, this was definitely a no-brainer. And then, of course, I picked up the Madagascar films. This is the original Madagascar, followed by Madagascar Escape to Africa. I didn't get a chance to see the sequel yet, and obviously I didn't get a chance to see this one, but this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of the most recent one, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. Yeah, I for whatever reason, I missed the second one, although I really wanted to see it. And, yeah, I obviously didn't see the third one, but I have them all now, so it might be a good time to do a marathon. Moving on, I finally picked this up. I'm really happy to have this because it's in a really nice box. And this is Shrek, the whole story. It has all 4 Shrek films: Shrek, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, and Shrek Forever After. So, yeah, really cool box set. As you can see, the back looks really nice. Nice spine. Really colorful, and, you know, it's got all the characters from the Shrek universe in there. Everything looks really cool, so yeah, I mean, for any DreamWorks, you know, DreamWorks collection, you have to have the Shrek films. And that wraps up my DreamWorks library. And then I just kind of was on an animation kick and putting that order in, so beefing out some more 3D titles, I picked this up. This was a blind buy, actually, too, because I missed this in theaters, and this is Rio 3D. I heard pretty decent things, and I really liked what I saw. I liked that they set it in Rio, and just from an animator's, you know, viewpoint, I thought that it looked really beautiful, so I was, you know, really bummed that I missed it. So, I'm probably not going to be able to hold myself back from watching it before I get a 3D TV, but I would like to see how this plays in 3D. And from 20th Century Fox, this is another collection of films that I just decided to get the whole collection of, and this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Ice Age. Surprisingly, I've never seen any of these films, but all the more reason I wanted to pick all of them up in just one swoop. The sequel, Ice Age: The Meltdown. And then after that, they started doing Blu-ray 3D, so I figured, what the hell? I picked up the third one, which is Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs 3D. Really cool slipcover. And, of course, the most recent one that just came out, this is Ice Age Continental Drift 3D, an even cooler slipcover. And like I mentioned in my last DVD update, where I kind of was on a Simpsons kick, no, I didn't finish the entire series, but I did make another dent in getting all the Simpsons seasons. So, first one I got is obviously the complete second season of The Simpsons, followed by the complete third season of The Simpsons. Just so everybody knows, these are actually the 2012 re-releases that were, the first 10 seasons were re-released by the studio in May of 2012, and I know some people have been asking how the packaging is. Is it the same or is it different? By the looks of it, it looks like these are exactly the same as their original DVD releases. I thought that maybe they would have kind of got a little bit more cost-effective and just maybe put them in traditional DVD cases with, like, one of those, like, flaps in the middle for, like, one disc on the inside, then one in the, in the tray, and then so on and so forth. But yeah, these seem to be the same, which is cool because, they're, really well made and, really colorful. Next one is complete season 4. Sorry about the glare, guys. There's a lot of shiny covers in this update, so I apologize for the glare. And the final one I got was the complete 5th season of The Simpsons. Over the course of the next few weeks, I'll kind of slowly continue picking them up until I'm all caught up, so I'm excited to finish that up. Next one I got was just this past week, and this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of the Jackson 5, the complete animated series. Being a huge Michael Jackson fan and Jackson 5 fan, I thought that this was a really, really surprising release to see put out on any format, let alone on Blu-ray, so this was really exciting to pick up. I've never seen this show, but I'm excited to check it out. They have all the songs, 46 remastered songs in them, and, you know, this was great. It was, surprisingly, this was actually cheaper at Best Buy than at Amazon. I locked it in on Amazon at $27.99. If you pre-ordered, or if you bought it on release day through Amazon, it was like $33, but I got my order in from Amazon, and I ended up showing up at Best Buy, and it was $20. So I ended up returning the one from Amazon, getting my refund, and then going to Best Buy to buy it there, because it was just, you know, a pretty decent price difference there, which is something I really rarely do. I never buy from Best Buy anymore, because Amazon normally has the best prices, so I was pretty surprised to see that Best Buy you know, had the best deal that week. But yeah, I would definitely, you know, if you're a fan of Michael Jackson or the Jackson 5, this is definitely a must-have in anyone's collection. Next one I have is one that I put an order in for, and it just was sold out for a while, so I was waiting for Amazon to restock, but I finally got it. And this is the 2-disc special edition of Peter Jackson's The Lovely Bones. I loved the book. I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was really good. I can't remember if many people were disappointed with the film, but I thought everybody was pretty good. I was just kind of bummed that 2 weeks before filming happened, Ryan Gosling dropped out of the father role and Mark Wahlberg replaced him on such a short notice, because I was really, really looking forward to seeing what Ryan Gosling was going to do, because the whole time I was reading it, I kind of had him in my head, and then when it kind of changed, it kind of like changed my whole perception of what the film was going to be. Mark Wahlberg did a fine job, but it just, you know, I was kind of like, oh, on such a, you know, short time frame, like, wow, kind of, you know, blew everything that I had planned of, you know, in my head. But nonetheless, it was still a really good film and definitely worth seeing if you're a Jackson fan. This is another 3D Disney Blu-ray title that I just got in from the Disney Movie Rewards. If you guys have Rewards, you can actually get this now. They're doing Blu-ray combo packs, and this was one that was great. And this is the 3D Blu-ray combo pack of Tron Legacy. Awesome sequel. I loved this film in theaters, and I really hope that a Tron 3 is not too far off. I do believe the director you know, is just finishing up his latest film with Tom Cruise, Oblivion, which is due in theaters in April, and I think that they're currently having story meetings for Tron 3, so fingers crossed that happens soon. And the last two titles, this was a blind buy. I actually bought this for my buddy for his birthday, and I did some research of my own, and I thought this was pretty cool. I'm going to buy it for myself, too. And this is a recent film called The Aggression Scale. It's pretty wild. I forget what they compared it to. Oh, somebody here compares it to like Home Alone with more death. See, that alone has me intrigued. Like Home Alone with more death. So I didn't really look too much into it to find out what it's about entirely. That alone had me peaked, so I'm more than willing to kind of take a chance on it. So we'll see how this one plays. And the final film I got, you know, I have the, you know, a regular Blu-ray combo pack, but I figured since I was on such a 3D Blu-ray kick, I figured what the hell. So I picked up the 3D Blu-ray combo pack of Marvel's The Avengers. This is a great film. I loved the hell out of this one. It's just terrific. Everybody was great in this. It was just such a fun time in the theaters. So I'm excited to revisit it. I'm sure I'm going to watch it again before I get a 3D TV, but it's going to be nice to kind of revisit it at some point in 3D when I have all the requirements to watch 3D. So pretty awesome stuff. Well, guys, that concludes my January 20th DVD and Blu-ray update. Thanks again for tuning in and subscribing. Be sure to leave comments, like the page if you know, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more. And of course, follow me on Twitter where you'll, you know, constantly see daily tweets from me showcasing pictures of whatever I'm getting in the mail that day, or my recent sketches of whatnot. I just uploaded a really cool drawing that I did of the monsters from All Real Monsters. Took me like 3 hours to do that, so I'm really happy with how it came out. But yeah, definitely follow me on Twitter. That's where you'll definitely see, you know, it's a cool social another social media outlet for me to kind of get involved with you guys. So if you have Twitter, follow me on there. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. So I'll see you guys in another 2.5 weeks with another DVD and Blu-ray update. Thanks again. This has been Frightener22.